It does not crease. It doesn't crease. It doesn't crease. Look at this pigmentation. Look at that pigmentation. Hey guys, welcome back to the Clean Beauty Code. I am so excited for this video because we're doing something fun. We're doing something I haven't talked about in a really long time, which is a clean makeup starter kit. I've gotten this question so many times in the last 6 months, so I felt like now was a good time to kind of redo the video and kind of explore all the options and what I think would be best in your starter kit. And what I really mean by that is I'm going to give a bunch of options for a bunch of different skin types or people's needs. It's not just going to be like one and done product because everyone's different. Everyone has different skin types, complexions, all of that. So we go through a bunch of products and I hope you find this video helpful. And yeah, I just want to jump into this video and get started because there's a lot of products and I don't want this to be 1,000 miles long because I can't stop yapping. So if you're excited for this video and more videos like this, then please like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into this clean makeup starter kit video. Makeup starter kit, let's get into it, you guys. First things first, I get this question a lot about what I feel like people should be focusing on or what products, how I transitioned my makeup and all of that. I just want to be clear. I do not think you need to use anything that is considered clean. It's just something that I was always curious about. So I created this channel so I could review products because I know there's so many consumers out there that are wondering how good some of these newer products are that are coming out that are kind of deemed clean. And yeah, that's what this channel is. There's no pressure to transition. I did get a question about 2 weeks ago from somebody asking how they should do it. And honestly, if you want to transition your makeup to kind of the more clean space, no problem. I would just say like one product at a time. Don't get rid of your products, one product at a time. And again, there's no pressure to transition or use anything other than things you love. This channel is really just here for reviews and for fun. Anyways, let's get into it. First things first, primer. Now, everyone kind of has different skin needs. So I'm going to talk about this one's my favorite. This one is really good if you need something that really keeps your makeup in place. This is from Cover FX. This is their gripping primer. I love this. I've talked about this since the beginning of this channel. This is really, really good. Now I know there is the Milk Makeup one. I don't love that one really as much. That one kind of, I find, at least on my skin, pills more. This one works really well, grips your makeup all day. Like if you have an event, a wedding, whatever, this is the one to go for in my opinion. And I personally have combo skin and it works really, really well. So then next we have one that I find hydrating, but also really gives your complexion just this beautiful smooth canvas. This one from Exa Beauty. This is their, what is the full name? Jumpstart Smoothing Primer. This is so good. It has great ingredients in it from a skincare perspective, and it really just keeps your skin feeling and looking hydrated. It is so, so good. I love this, and I don't know, you can't go wrong. And my combo skin works really well with this. So then for my people out there who need mattification, okay, I got you. This one specifically from Nude 6 is so good. So this is their, what is this? Blot and Blur Matte Stick. And the way that I like to apply this is just, I use it just in my T-zone just because that's where I am a pool of oil. This I like to just apply and then kind of pat it in to the skin, and I find that's the best way that I like to apply it. It is so good, makes my makeup last all day, really controls oil, which is great because when you have long days, long events, okay? Another one that's good for weddings is this one because it really just keeps oil controlled all day, and then by the end of the event or whatever you have, you're not feeling like a grease pool. This is really, really nice. Now we're moving on to complexion, and first we're going to talk foundation. Now there's really only one foundation that to me stand out above the rest, dummy proof. All of these products I mentioned, by the way, are going to be dummy proof products because I feel like a starter kit's got to be just simple, easy, no finicky products. So that's kind of the vibe for the day. And the foundation that is perfect in every way is the Exa Beauty foundation. This is a really nice natural looking foundation that gives you nice medium coverage. However, you can sheer it out. So if you want more coverage, kind of more medium, like full medium coverage, a touch medium plus, depending on how much you apply, and also to like more of a light coverage. You can definitely get that with this. It doesn't do up. It also doesn't cling to dryness. It is so good. And the shade range is incredible. I wear the shade 270 Rebecca. Just, it's so good. I'm obsessed with this. I love it. Next, we're going to talk kind of skin tinty products. The first one I want to talk about is a tinted sunscreen. Now, I can't remember when I did my last starter kit, but I believe this was in it. This is so good. There's so many shade options. It's great coverage, so it is another medium coverage product, but it doesn't look like makeup on the skin. At least on my complexion, it doesn't. It is so good. It does have a little bit of dewiness to it. However, if you powder it, you'll be good. Like I powder my T-zone, and by the end of the day, I'm not like, okay, who was making fries in the fryer? Like it's not like that. This is really, really good. I love this. So I actually have two shades. This is 45 Silver Lake. I also have 40 Runyon, and I kind of mix them together, or when I'm a little bit more yellow in undertone, because it really depends. Yellow in undertone, I go Runyon. If I'm a little bit more neutral, I go Silver Lake. This is really, really good. I love this. Now we're going to move on to more like true skin tint products. One, I feel like is not going to shock anyone because this is actually the love of my life. This one from Westman Atelier is just, it is so freaking good. So this, you can kind of build up to be a little bit more medium in coverage, but it is the most beautiful product. And if you want something that keeps you hydrated throughout the day, this is it. If you want something that looks like nothing on the skin, but also is like, oh, is her skin this perfect? This is it. This is a really, really good product. I wear the shade X in this. It is just incredible. Overall, she's so good. Now, there's a ton of really good skin tints out there. However, that one by far for me stands above the rest. And even with my combo skin, it is so good. So then the next one that I feel like there's a lot of people that follow me that like a lighter coverage. This one is underrated. She's so good. The Summer Fridays skin tint is just beyond. It's just so incredible. I really, really like this. I wear the shade 5, I believe. Yes, shade 5. So good. Evens out my complexion. Every time I wear this, I get comments on what's on my skin. Oh, my skin looks really good. I wear that and it just looks so good. And what I love about these two products specifically is it feels like they're hydrating from within. So by the end of the day, I'm not feeling like crunchy. These are really, really incredible. Now, if you want a foundation stick, but also a concealer combo stick, the Merit Beauty Foundation Concealer Stick, I love. Now, if you have a little bit of dryness on your skin, depending on the type of dryness, I will say do a little test or swipe on your dryness because there are certain drynesses this clings to, not all of it. This is great. Does not crease under your eyes. Does not crease under your eyes. I personally like to use this to spot concealer on my face. This is a really nice natural finish, and it's not going to look super intense or apparent on the skin. However, there is some dryness that it clings to. It doesn't do up in my T-zone, and I have a very oily T-zone. This does not do up in my T-zone. This is so good, and again, does not crease under the eyes. And when I wear this and I don't set it under my eyes, if I wear it under my eyes as a concealer and I don't set it, I don't have any concealer running, or mascara running. I should say concealer running. Can I get a grip? Mascara running, and that is really important because some concealers just will make your mascara run if you don't set them with powder. This one does not. Anyways, I digress. We're moving on to other concealers. So I have a bunch of concealers today, but it's kind of dependent on your needs and what you like. So the first one that I feel like everyone will like, but the shade range does need some improvement, is from Iris and Romeo. This concealer. Your under eyes don't feel dry when you're wearing this, but it doesn't have like a weird shine to it. Not weird shine, but some concealers do have a bit of a shine to it. This does not have that. It does not crease. It doesn't crease. It doesn't crease. If you have creasy under eyes like I do, never not creasing, this does not crease. This is the most crease-proof concealer in the history of concealers. It is so freaking good. I love this. I have it in 3 shades. I have it in the shade 7, which is kind of my everyday. Then I have the shade 6 and the shade 5. 5 is very bright for me, so it's like a tinge, like doop, right there, and then you just kind of blend it out. Just the smallest amount. This is so good. It is life altering. Next we have this from Live Tinted. This is so good. I wear the shade 16. Is it 16 that I have here? Yeah, 16. Like this one from Iris and Romeo, you really have no creasing. I would say this creases just a hair more, let's say. If it does crease at all. For me, it doesn't crease. It just a touch more, maybe. But this is really good. Very hydrating under the eyes. Has really nice medium coverage. This also has really nice medium coverage. It's just incredible and so good. Now, if you want something that is even more hydrating, this one, which is my favorite concealer, the Colfi concealer, it is just so good. This does have a touch of sheen to it, but not sheen where it's shiny or it's like wet looking or dewy looking. This just has a touch of sheen, which I really like because I tend to have my face look a little bit more just dewy, and because of that, if you wear something a little bit more matte under the eyes, it can look a little cray cray. So this is really nice, and it just looks incredible all day and blends like an absolute dream. It is so good. These are all great concealers, and they're going to give you relatively the same coverage, kind of all medium coverage concealers, and I feel like that's a really good place to start for concealer coverage, because just for a starter kit, I feel like all you really need is medium coverage, and just find the places you like to apply concealer. Let it sit a minute or two. All these you can let sit for like 2 minutes. Minute or two, blend it out, and I swear you're going to feel so much better about how your under eyes look than going super, super high coverage. So that's just my advice on starter kits. Next, we're going to move on to bronzer. Now, bronzer can be tricky and patchy at times. So we're going to be talking about a bunch of different options depending on your needs. So first, this one from Merit Beauty is very light and very minimal, and in the best way. I'm actually wearing it today. It is so good, blends like a dream, and truly is the most dummy proof bronzer of all time. I do hope they expand the shade range because I think that there could be a couple more options in there. However, I think that this is great. Again, blends like a dream. This is one you don't need to have foundation on for or skin tint on for. I feel like sometimes when you're wearing bronzer alone and you don't have anything underneath, it can kind of feel out of place at times depending on the formula. This one does not have that problem. Next. No one shocked. This is so good. The LYS Beauty Bronzer Stick. Now, this is, again, another dummy-proof product, and the shade range is incredible. The blend is so easy. Blends like a dream. Both of these are really great. They don't cling to any dryness. I don't know. I'm a really big fan of them, and I have dryness I have a bunch of different types of dryness on my face, right? I have some eczema dryness. I have some like zit mark dryness, and then I also have after zit mark hyperpigmentation dryness. And these don't cling to any of that, which is really, really nice because sometimes cream products they be clinging. They be clean. Those do not. Now we're going to move on to powder bronzer. Now I know there's some people who prefer powder bronzer, and I get it. I love a powder bronzer. So I have 2 options here today that I love, that I feel like formula-wise are just unmatched. The Victoria Beckham Beauty bronzer. This is in the shade 04. This is so good and gives the most flawless bronze ever in the history of life. Just so good. Just so good. And this reminds me a lot of the Physicians Formula butter bronzer in the way that it blends onto the skin and also disappears into nothing, but also in the sense of that you can't tell that you have powder on your skin. It is just so good, but it leaves pigment. Next is the House Labs. Okay, I can stay open. House Labs bronzer. I love this. I wear the shade medium level 7. This blends like a dream. This one is slightly less soft, in my opinion, than the Victoria Beckham Beauty one, but these are so, so good. If you want other options besides these 2, because I do feel like the Victoria Beckham Beauty bronzer needs to expand their shade range, but also it's very expensive, and I'm aware of that. So I think that it's, you have the House Labs with so many shade options that are very similar. But also, if you want something that is an alternative, then the LYS Beauty bronzer is great as well, the powder bronzer. Next, I'm moving on to brows, and the first thing I want to talk about is a brow soap, because I feel like brow soap is so slept on, but is truly the only product you need on your brows if you like something that is a little bit more natural looking but has incredible hold. This brow soap from Tude is so good. So the way I like to use this is get a spoolie wet. You can just dip it in the sink. You can get a spray bottle, whatever you want to do. Rub it on this, put your brows up, and then you're good until next Sunday, because they literally hold all day, and when you take your makeup off, that's kind of when the product is gone. But this is so good. Hold is incredible. Love it. In terms of a true like brow gel, I have a few options, and there's a lot of good ones out there. The LYS Beauty one is great, but that does have a little bit of shine, and that might not be for everyone, but that it holds all day. Oh my goodness. But this newer launch has really rocked my boat. Okay, this is from Kulfi, and this is kind of the perfect blend of a brow soap vibe and a traditional brow gel. This is really good. So it's clear. It has just a traditional wand, but then it has this over here. So this is kind of a plastic brush, and then a more like a more traditional style brush, but this one is great for kind of pushing your brows up and giving you more that brow lamination look if you love that. I'm actually wearing it today. This is so good, and hold is all day, and this one I feel like is the most versatile out of everything. And then for a more natural brow look, this one from Rose Inc is incredible. This is their clear brow gel. They also have a tinted one. Those are great too. But this is just so good. The hold is incredible. It looks super natural, and I don't know, you really can't go wrong with it. Now let's go on to brow pencils. Now the first one I'm going to recommend is not going to work for everyone, but is, if you can, it's just so good. The Westman Atelier brow pencil, this is so good. The reason I say it's not going to work for everyone is because it is the shape of the tip. So the tippy tip here, you can kind of fill your brows in to be a little bit more pinpointed, but it's also more of a like slant. It's really good. Holds all day. Holds all day. It is really good. Like, and by holds all day, I mean like stays put all day. Just so good. Then if you want something just more pinpointed, I would go with this one here from Kosas. This is actually not the one I'm recommending. This is their traditional, like their original one, but they have one that's more pinpointed. The Micro, I believe it's called. That one is so good. I don't know where I put that one, but it's so good. It really helps you feather in your brow hairs. However, in my opinion, you can still get that feathered brow hair, like really like get the brow hair look with this. So this one by far out of all of them is the standout for me. However, I know it's not going to be for everyone, but it's very good. Now, we're going to move on to powders. There's only one powder I recommend, okay? And it's this one from Amicole. It's so good. It's so good. This is to die for. So this is the Amicole setting powder. This is so good. This works for every type of skin, in my opinion, whether you have dry skin, whether you have super oily skin. It really just makes your face look so good all day, but it doesn't make it look flat. And I feel like that's super important with powder, because no matter how oily your skin is, something that just completely sucks the moisture out of your skin and makes your skin look really flat and feel super dry honestly makes people with oily skin oilier. At least in my opinion. Anytime I've been like using something that just literally just sucks all the moisture out of my skin and like gets rid of all the oiliness really intensely, by the end of the day, sometimes I'm oilier, or over time I get oilier, and I've noticed using something that's more of a soft matte, which is kind of what I would describe this to be, is better. Anyways, I digress. Next, right now we're seeing a real resurgence of kind of shimmery products and kind of illuminating products for the complexion. So You have stuff that also gives you bronze, stuff that there's a bunch of options out there. And I know the Drunk Elephant drops, everyone was obsessed with those for a while. Those were not my favorite. I found them to get pretty patchy, but these ones, and I know those of you who watch this channel are not shocked, are the best. These Westman Atelier drops, these are their illuminator drops, are so good. I have the shade Peau de Soleil and Peau de Pêche. I have two because I'm crazy. And apparently money is just a free-for-all for me in life because I'm just out here constantly spending it. But they are so good. I like to wear them together, alone, just as a highlight, all over the face, under foundation, with foundation, alone. It's just so good. And this sheen is just gorgeous. And if you have combo skin, it's not going to get super, super oily looking. It really like makes my skin feel like it's getting hydrated, and it feels like a lot of Westman Atelier products feel like this. Skincare and makeup combined. So I feel like my skin just looks really good by the end of the day. I'm actually wearing the highlight on my face today, and I just feel like it looks really good, but it doesn't look too intense. I feel like for a starter kit, these are just so good. Now I'm going to move on to blush, and there's so many incredible blush products out there. However, I feel like in your starter kit, you need something that is, again, dummy proof, but also easy to blend, easy to work with, and just always looks good. And the Say Beauty blushes are just going to be at the top of my list for that one. I have 3 shades here. This one is spicy, I believe. Spicy, Cutie, and Sweetie. Cutie and Sweetie are the newest shades that came out. This is one that came out the time before the newer shades launched with the shade Chili. I have all the shades except one of the newest ones that was really light, so it just wouldn't work on me. But these are so good. They blend like a dream. I'm always happy with how my makeup is looking. I'm actually wearing the shade Cutie today. I'm always happy with how my blush is looking, and it doesn't feel like I'm wearing a ton of makeup, and it doesn't feel, when I get close to a mirror, like it's too much. And they just blend so, so well, which is why they are definitely at the top of the just starter kit vibes is this blush. It is just so good. Now, for a powder, because I know there are some people who prefer powder, which is like very few people, but there are people. These, they're so good. So these are from Bare Minerals, and this is their blush bronzer duo. They have a little bit of a sheen to them, but not where you're going to look like a disco. Just like the perfect, healthiest cheek look. I have 2 shades here, but I have more than that. So this is the shade Kiss of Pink, my most used. Then Kiss of Rose, which is also currently being used a ton. Then I have Kiss of Copper, and then I believe, no, I think that's it. I think I only have 3, but these are really, really good. Oh, do I? It doesn't matter. They're really, really good. I love the way that they set my blush without, first of all, mattifying too much. Because if I'm doing a cream or something like that, I don't want it to be too mattified, if that makes sense. Because if I'm doing a cream or a liquid, I want it to still have some sheen. Because the portion of my face that I want to look really youthful and dewy is my cheeks. These are really, really good, and the pigmentation's incredible. You really can't go wrong. And if you are into the hourglass kind of blush vibe that looks really natural and gives you a bit of a youthful cheek, then these are definitely for you. So good. So the next setting spray. This one. This is full stop. This is the only one. This is the LY's Beauty Setting Spray. I'm obsessed with it. Look how empty. I have a backup of this. Look, it's so sad. We're almost done, but this is so good. Makeup lasts all day. If you want to see this in action, I did a side-by-side of it with on my hand versus the Charlotte Tilbury and the Urban Decay, and then a bunch of other ones, so you can kind of see how it stands up. This is really good. This is very good. Makeup lasts all day, but it doesn't give you dewiness, doesn't make your skin feel. Sometimes setting sprays can give you a sticky feeling at first. This does not give you that, and it is just 10 out of 10. This is so, so good. I mean, I wouldn't have a backup if it wasn't so good. This is very good. Now we're going to move on to the eyes. Now, my personal preference for like eyeshadow is individual eyeshadows, and I just pick a handful of shades that I want, and those are the ones I kind of focus on, because like realistically, you're not going to use an entire palette. I mean, maybe you are. I'm not. because there's some shades that aren't going to work for me, so I prefer individual shadows. However, I'm going to talk about a palette, then we're going to move on to individual shadows. This one from Kosas, I feel like is a really good, easy beginner palette. And that's why I'm recommending this one, because I feel like it's very beginner and easy to work with. I know people didn't love the packaging and felt as though it was very juvenile, which I don't disagree. However, as long as the product inside is good, I'm okay with it. And it comes with a mirror, which I know some people don't love a mirror. I like a mirror in a palette, especially if I'm traveling. But this is nice and it has nice options. I feel like the best way to do eyeshadow in general is to get a bunch of individuals. So we're going to talk individuals. And there's one group of individuals that are truly the best individual shadows I've ever used. And these are from Jones Road Beauty. They're so good. So I have two shades here. I don't know where my other ones are, but that's okay. This is the shade Patina. This is a beautiful shimmery shade and it's so good. But they have so many shade options, which is amazing. And a lot of options for different undertones, which I like. Then I have this one, which is the shade Cream, which is great. I also have the shade Dark Brown. I also have a more like transition shade color. I have a bunch of them. These are very, very good. And they don't like skip. I don't have any problems with these. The dark brown one is one of the best dark brown eyeshadows I've ever used in my life. They're just so good. And if I were to recommend anything, it would be to get a handful of individual shadows and just not even focus on a palette, because I don't think it's necessary to have an entire palette. Now we're going to move on to eyeliners, and I have two recommendations. One is this one. These are the Victoria Beckham Beauty eyeliners. I love these. They're so good. I have a bunch of shades. This one is the shade, I think this is black. Black. This is the shade Cinnamon. I also have the shade Cocoa. I have one other shade. Do I? Doesn't matter. These are really good. When you smudge them, they smudge like a dream, but then they really lock down and don't move. These are incredible. And if you're into smudging out stuff, these are really good. Also, if you like stuff in your waterline, I also like putting these in my waterline. Now, if you want something that's definitely never going to move, you could be through a hurricane and your eyeliner won't budge. The Kufi eyeliners. These are so good. I have two shades. This is the shade Black and this is the shade Brown. The way that these last is crazy. And they have a bunch of beautiful shades. These are incredible. I'm a really big fan of Kufi in general, but this formula is so good and works great in your waterline, works great. Smudge quickly if you're going to smudge it, but you can smudge it, but you do need to work fast because these dry down and don't move. Now we're going to move on to mascaras, and I have two, depending on your needs. So the first one I feel like isn't going to shock anyone. The Jones Road Beauty mascara is truly the best mascara I've ever used in my life. And I don't have issues with running with this, which is what's incredible about this mascara. I love this mascara. You can't go wrong. This does give you a little bit more va-va boom lashes, but you can also apply just one coat and it looks very natural. So this is a very versatile one. The next, this one, I actually got a question the other day about mascara, and this is one I always will recommend. I love the Ilia mascara, the Limitless. However, I do feel like for a starter kit, this one is better. The Tower 28 one is just so good. It is so good if you have sensitive eyes. It's amazing. They also have a brown one, which is really nice. I don't know. I'm a very, very big fan of this. Now we're going to talk lip liner. Just put some lip oil on because my lips were screaming, crying, and throwing up because they were so dry. So first lip liner I'm going to recommend is this one, which I feel like won't shock anyone, the Jones Road Beauty lip liners, because there's so many options for different skin tones. These are very good neutral lip liners, and there's a lot of options. These are, I would say, no, these are really, yeah, they're super long lasting, but they're really smoothing. And I would say out of all of them, the most smoothing lip liners, at least on my lips, the formula is incredible, long lasting, not drying, really, really good. Then we have one that no one's shocked by this if you watch this channel, but these ones from Victoria Beckham Beauty are so good. And these ones I would say last the longest of all the lip liners I'm recommending. However, these also aren't drying, and there's a lot of great shade options. So I have actually 4 of these, but I only have 3 here. So this is the shade 05, so good. The shade is this 02, I believe. Yeah, this is the shade 02, this small one, and then this is the shade 04, which is my most used. I also have the shade that's just called red. Really, really good, long lasting, look really good, and have really good Your Lip But Better shades. And they're a lot of people's favorite for a reason. Very, very good. Then next I have this one from RMS. This is their just nude lip pencil. Is that what it's called? Go Nude Lip Pencil. This is the shade Sunset. Is it Sunset? Just making stuff up. Oh yeah, Sunset Nude. This is really good. In the Jones Road Beauty, I realized I didn't say. I have the shade Rosewood and Cognac. These are great. I have backups of both of these. I have backups of the shade 04 in the Victoria Beckham and the shade 05. Now, the RMS one is very similar to me in texture to the Jones Road Beauty one. Really good. There's a lot of great nude options out there. It just is what nude means to you and what is nude for you, right? Because some people like something more pink, some people like something that is more of a beigey color, some people like something more mauve-y. I personally love a brown because again, nude isn't the same for everybody, and I feel like having some really good nude lip pencils in your kit, just a must. Next, I want to go on to something that's more of like a lip tint, and this one specifically from Jones Road Beauty is so good. So this is the shade, what is this? Nude, is it, am I crazy? Nude Rose, but I also have Cocoa Rose. So, so good and so hydrating and so nice, and can be kind of worn more lipsticky style if you want, but it's very hydrating because I'm all about hydration. Nobody wants dry, cracky lips. It's just not the vibe. Next lipstick I want to talk about is actually from Merit Beauty. They have now a matte one, so I feel like it's a good lipstick to just recommend in general. So they have their kind of more traditional one that they came out with that's more of a hydrating one. I have four shades in this: Loving You, 1990, Slip, and Baby. So good, so hydrating, and the pigmentation is really there. But again, they're more of a hydrating one, so they're not going to be the longest lasting, but they're really good. But they did just come out with a mattifying one, or not mattifying, matte one, and this is really good, and it smooths over lip lines, which is incredible because I hate I have wrinkly lips. Okay, I talk about this all the time. I have wrinkly lips, and I feel like stuff just highlights that. This does not highlight it. So I have the shade Equestrian in this, which is really beautiful, like burnt red brown shade. It's just incredible, and the formula is so, so good, and the wear is just all day. And if you want something more hydrating and a tint, these from Rowan Beauty are the best liquid lip balms or hydrating lip products out there, and the tints are incredible. I have 100 shades, but these are my most grabbed right now. So this is my most repurchased. I repurchased this like 5 times at this point, but this one is Charlie, this one is Scout, and this Jude, and this one's Jude. And they are just so good, but I also have more nude shades, like a more like beigey nude shade, a more pinky nude shade. There's just so many options. They also have ones that are more shimmery. They are so good, but what's incredible about these is the way that they smooth out your lips when they're dry. I truly, like, I've recommended this so many times, and so many of you have commented back to me once you got them and said that they changed your life, which makes me so happy. These are really, really good. Highly recommend. And then, oh, here's another nude one. This one is Remy, and this is just the prettiest beigey nude. Love that on top of a like darker brown lip liner. Girl, so cute. So then next, there have been a lot of tinted type of like hydrating lip products, like whether it be a lip oil, lip butter, and above. Now, I really want to recommend just one because there's so many good ones. I love the Summer Fridays lip butter bombs. There's just so many good ones. However, there's one that stands above the rest, and it's the Ole Hendrickson. Now that they came out with tints, but the Ole Hendrickson, I don't have the yellow one with me, their original, but I love that. I have backups of that one. It is so good. But this one specifically, they came out with tints. I feel like if you're looking for something with a tint, but also to smooth out your lip lines and your dryness, the Ole Hendrickson lip peptide, it's life-changing, truly life-changing. It is so freaking good. This is the shade. What shade is this? Cocoa Cream. Let's apply some, even though I have some lip oil on, but that's okay. Cocoa Cream. Look at this pigmentation. Look at that pigmentation. It's good. It isn't too scented, but it does have a little bit of a scent. It's, to me, it's very vanilla-y scented. However, I am so bad at describing scents. I couldn't describe, like, you could put me inside a vanilla bean and I'd be like, what's this scent? Because I'm so bad at describing scents, but this is really, really good. I love the way that it looks, makes my lips feel hydrated, look really good, really smooth. And I know a lot of people struggle with like lip products enhancing their lip lines because lip lines are normal. And I wish someone told me that when I was younger because I was always really self-conscious of my lip lines, just like on my lips. Sometimes some of us have wrinkly lips, okay? This does not like enhance that, and the color doesn't get in the lines, if that makes sense. I don't know, I'm obsessed with these. And yeah, that's it for my clean makeup starter kit video. I would love to know down below, what do you think belongs to their starter kit? Leave it down below because people who are looking for options would also love to know what other people think. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.